back to my channel. I'm your tribal sister, ShaYah. I'm joined here today with the author of the book, We as the People, Malachi P.L. Reynolds. Okay, brother, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Shalom, shalom. That's peace in Hebrew. I'm a published author. I'm also a Shabbat scriptural teacher, and I'm an entrepreneur, a father of 2 sons, and I'm a community activist. And I'm just trying to do my part to contribute to the upliftment of our people.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so I want to start off with talking about, like, you know what my channel is about when I interview people or whatever, have chats. So I want to start off with your awakening. Like, how did you come to know who you are as the people of the book? And just, just that whole process.
Well, at the time before I came into the truth, I was pastoring actually 2 Sunday churches.
Mm-hmm.
I was pastoring one church in the state of Texas where I now reside.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pastoring another church simultaneously in my home state in the state of Mississippi. Mm-hmm. When I was teaching in the Sunday church, pastoring, I just knew something wasn't adding up, something wasn't matching with the scriptures. Mm-hmm. I felt as if there was some missing puzzles. So I came across the ministry of Mr. Bowie of the Israel of God, and another brother as well. And I called and spoke with him about the things that I knew wasn't right. Mm-hmm. And he explained to me, along with another brother, they helped explain to me, about how we fit the description of the scriptures, specifically from the Tanakh, Deuteronomy in the 28th chapter. Yeah. And that just totally got my attention. Yeah. And for many nights, I could not rest, I could not sleep. Mm-hmm. And it just like refreshed the scriptures to me. Yeah. And at the same time, it was very exciting, but at the same time, I felt so deceived. I felt bamboozled. I felt duped. Yeah. In the words of Malcolm X. So that's how I came into the truth. Mm-hmm. Because I knew something was wrong with what I was teaching. Mm-hmm. And that was like at the point of crossroads in my life, because, not only did I have to deal with myself, but I had to deal with the people that I was pastoring.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. So you were, well, I know in the book, you kind of touch on some New Testament scriptures. So are you trying to say that you were basically mostly a New Testament teacher at the time when you were a pastor, coming into the truth?
No, I wouldn't say I was a New Testament teacher, because I did teach from the New Testament. Mm-hmm. But I would often be attracted to the Old Testament. Right. Because of the story of Exodus. And that's what made me really think that those people who are calling themselves Jews can't really be the true Jews. When I read from the Tanakh. So the Tanakh, the Torah, is what really helped, especially Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. That's what really woke me up.
Yeah.
And just to give you a little bit of history, in chattel slavery, they would give our people only half the Bible. They would give our people only the New Testament.
Right,
They
right,
wouldn't give them the Tanakh or the Torah because, you know, that's liberation theology.
right.
So, but yes, it was Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, the
Mm,
Torah that really woke me up.
yes. I think that was definitely the awakening for a lot of us Israelites, Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. It's like because only our people fit that description of who the Israelites are. So yeah. So okay, let's get into the book. So I have my notes here too. So first of all, like what inspired you to write this book?
Well, what inspired me to write this book, we as a
Yeah.
people,
Yes.
well, the Torah, the Tanakh, because, you know, everybody else in America, every other ethnicity, they know who they are
Mm-hmm.
and they know where they come from. But when the descendants of slaves, the so-called Black people of America or African American, so-called, when it comes to us, all we can say is that we are Negroes or that we're Black or African American.
Mm-hmm.
But when other melanated people come to America, such as uh, the Nigerians, they know what tribe they come from.
Yeah.
When they come from South Africa, some of them know what tribe they come from.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know what tribe we come from. We don't know our ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
So I was inspired to write this book to let our people know how we have been defined, not just from the scriptural perspective, but also historically.
Right.
Uh, Historically, we were not defined as Black, but historically, we was defined as the original people of the earth, meaning the Aboriginal people of the earth,
Mm-hmm.
meaning, and we was defined as the original people.
Right.
Uh, so that's what inspired me to write this book, and also to get our people to see ourselves not based on these different labels that is a byproduct of our oppression,
Mm-hmm.
meaning when we call ourselves a Crip or a Blood, a
Mm-hmm.
Democrat, a Republican, a liberal, or conservative.
Mm-hmm.
These are labels that our oppressor, these are byproducts of the oppressive system that we are in. So we have to rid ourselves, we have to rid our mentality of these labels that are offshoots of our uh, or byproducts of our oppression. We have to rid ourselves of that and get back to who we was defined as in the beginning. So
Exactly.
that's what inspired me to write this book, and I intentionally wrote it where it will gravitate or be attracted to our people who usually don't like to read. You know.
Right, right. Okay. So page 14 and 15, you talk about knowledge of self. Um, ignorancy keep a people in segregation. So what do you mean by that? Like ignorancy of them not knowing who they are?
Yes, exactly,
Okay.
exactly, exactly. When you don't know who you are, you will find yourselves defining yourself according to everything else under the sun but who you truly are. And when you don't know who you are, then you leave it up to your oppressor
Mm.
to define you. And if your oppressor can define you or label you, then your oppressor can control you.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know, that's why the brother Carter G. Woodson wrote the book, The Miseducation of the Negro, because
Right.
because we have been miseducated from who we were scripturally
Mhm.
and historically as the original people. We were miseducated away from who we are
Mhm.
according to the scriptures and historical facts, and brainwashed into something that we're not.
Right. As our oppressors like to have it to where we're calling ourselves something different, like every so often, like every year, it's black, it's negroid, it's colored people. It's just
Yeah,
always something other
yeah,
than what we should be calling ourselves, you know.
yeah,
Yes, exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, feel you on
That was
that.
my point.
Okay. So, okay, this is a touchy one here. It's sex and gender topic. I had to get on that one, right? So, okay. So what made you talk about this topic specifically?
Well, the same sex agenda that they are pushing,
Hmm.
because, you know, in the beginning, we didn't practice that type of behavior.
Mm.
But now, under this oppression, we are defining ourselves based on uh, these same sex terminologies.
Mm.
So I had to definitely write a chapter to let our people know that even nature, even nature teach us that uh, that's not who we are.
Right.
Even nature,
Mm.
and that's not who we were in the origins
Mhm.
of our existence,
Mhm.
and we need to rid ourselves of that byproduct
Mm.
that we are now defining ourselves by as a result of our oppression in the system. So it's just another label that's keeping our people in ignorance, in bondage,
Exactly.
and having our people to act out of who we were originally ordained to be.
Hmm.
So
Well,
that's why I wrote that chapter.
okay. Well, I feel that a lot of our people, they see, just knowing who they are as a people as something, archaic. They don't, they don't want to know. It's like, they think because they're a new generation, that stuff is like beyond them. So what do you think about that? Do you see like younger people not wanting to know who they are? Because I know you speak to a lot of younger people as well.
Yes, me and my ministry, we goes out into the streets, and uh, the name of my ministry is the Lost Found Israelites
Mhm.
ministry, and we go out to the streets to teach our people who they are and
Mhm.
whose they are.
Mhm.
Uh, we do draw the attention of a lot of young people.
Mhm.
We know when I ask them, "Who are you?" that catches their attention.
Mm. Okay.
And when I tell them that you're not the color of my shirt, and then when I tell them that you're not two continents called Africa and America, that really catches their attention.
Okay.
So there is an interest there,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the thing that draws them back is when we teach them the character of our origin. Meaning, once we learn who we are, there's a certain way that we have to behave or act, and
Right.
we cannot continue to go on living out uh, these byproduct labels as
Mm-hmm.
a result of our oppression. We
Right.
rid ourselves of those things, and that's the part that causes them to draw back, because it's a challenge.
Yeah, well, yes, of course, with, society pushing, young people in so many different directions, then to go back to the Torah and to study, just who we are as a people. So what would you say is your favorite chapter in your book? Like your favorite topic?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if I have a favorite chapter.
Okay.
I think that the each chapter leads into a greater understanding.
Hmm.
I see it as uh, steps to a greater understanding.
Yes.
So I don't really have a particular favorite chapter.
Hmm.
I just see it as steps. Uh,
So if you don't mind, I see you have the book with you. Could you read me like something from the book? Yeah, coming from the author.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Now I have highlighted quite a few things from my book.
Okay.
Uh,
Because I have the book in front of me as well.
all right, all right. Get your book on, get your read on.
All right.
All right.
Which chapter?
From chapter 1,
Okay.
page 9,
Mm-hmm.
our origin.
Okay.
And I have highlighted at the bottom of this page the last sentence in this paragraph.
Hmm.
Genocide on our people's minds from one generation to another generation is constant. Genocide on our people's minds, from one generation to another generation is constant.
Hmm.
That means that the reason why I wrote that in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, the first chapter, is to uh, show our people that the education that we have been giving is actually a genocide to destroy us mentally.
Right. Right.
The worst type of genocide is mental genocide.
Exactly.
Once you kill a person off from who they truly are,
Mhm.
they're dead mentally.
Yeah.
And once you have killed them mentally, then you can be controlled by your oppressor.
That is so true. Wow. That's really deep too.
And from page 11, the
Hmm.
same chapter, I will read another highlighted
Okay.
page 11. It says, "We will relate to one another according to our origin as a people. This is how we can achieve Black unity, or not Black unity, but unity as a people.
Hmm.
Many of our leaders have tried to unite us, but many have failed because we're so divided. we're so divided by different labels. We have Democrats and Republicans. What do we have to do with being a Democrat or Republican?
Right.
And then we define ourselves as thugs and thoughts. You know, those hood terminologies. Then we define ourselves as liberals and conservatives, red and blue, Crips, Bloods. You know, all these labels, and then we define ourselves as, well, we are rightly defined as, we should be straight. But with the same-sex agenda, they are now defining our people as those who practice that lifestyle as lesbians or homosexuals,
Right.
things of that nature.
Yeah.
But all those labels do is serve to divide us even further. They bring more and more division into our communities, which has already been fractured. Has already been destroyed.
Yeah.
The 500 something years of chattel slavery.
Yes.
But once we get back to defining ourselves according to our origin as the original people, that's the label that we should, you know, achieve our unity under.
Exactly. Okay.
And another thing that I wrote in this book, one of the most powerful things that I wrote in this book also is about racism and prejudice. The problem with America as a whole is not racism. But the problem with America as a whole is prejudice.
Okay.
Prejudice. Racism, ism, is the suffix of a word, or ist. Race is, like a violin is. A violin is someone who loves a what? Who loves to play the violin, right?
Yes.
A violin is.
Violins. Yes.
Well, a race is someone who loves his race. Not someone who hates, but someone who loves his race.
Okay.
So
I feel you. Yeah.
problem with America is not racism, it's prejudice. Prejudice means you have a preconceived thought about someone. You think that just because they are dark-skinned, that they are evil,
Right,
ugly,
right.
or animals.
Yeah.
And you think just because someone is light or bright or white, that they are good, you know.
Yeah, this is what they actually teach and promote in movies, just wherever you look. Actually, I seen a study with young children. They were asking them to pick on a scale of skin colors, who's bad, who's good. Of course, the children would pick the darker skinned character as being bad, or something like that. So yeah, they put it in our Black children's mind very early on that being dark-skinned is something to be looked at as bad. And that's not good at all. Yeah.
That's genocide of the mind.
Yes.
It's genocide on the
mind. Yeah.
You know, it traumatizes our children, because that influences a lot of melanated people to bleach their skin. You know, in Jamaica and in South Africa, they have had to ban light skin cream because people was they was going to the extreme to try to lighten themselves up. So that's how much damage has been done upon the minds of melanated people all around the world. And that right there in my book is what I call genocide of the mind.
Wow. Yes. Hmm. So sad. But
I can say also is that to show you how they have taken the Bible and miseducated us, in the Tanakh, in the Torah, actually, white or light skin is considered to be a sign of disease,
yeah, yeah.
and
Mm,
dark skin is considered to be a form of beauty.
right, right.
That's why in the songs of Solomon, it says, "I am dark and lovely."
Mm-hmm.
So they have, taken our book, our Tanakh, our Torah, and they have used it against us. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier in the interview, that we cannot allow them to define us, because if they can define us, then they can control us.
Exactly.
How
Yes.
do we go from being the original people to now wanting to be like the people who actually imitate us?
Right.
It don't make no sense.
It really doesn't. And in the scriptures, when Moses had to put his hands in it to his bosom and it came out as white as snow, I mean, a lot of Hollywood movies, when they're doing Exodus, they skip that part because,
Yes,
a white person
exactly.
doing that, it's not going to work. So, yeah,
That's good insight. They skipped that.
yeah, they really do. So, yeah, they even turned the Egyptians white. Everybody's white.
Yes,
But when you read the scriptures, you see that's not true. But a lot of people, they don't want to go back and read, for themselves. They depend on Hollywood to, show them, scriptures and stuff. But
yes. Once again, they. I think the first time I seen Cleopatra,
mhm.
Cleopatra being displayed on television, it was Elizabeth Taylor playing her,
Yes.
and you know, the media is one of the main tools used to continue the genocide of
Mhm.
our young people's minds from one generation to another, which is why I wrote about it in our book, in this book. And and Malcolm X even said that, that the mass media is used to control the minds of the masses.
Right. I mean, even when the Israelites first got to this country, they started dividing them by their natural skin color. Light skinned people got to be in the house and, doing things in the master's house and stuff like that. And the darker skinned people had to be out in the field. And I think that created like arguments between, the same people because they had different skin shade. And it goes on today as well.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Mhm.
That's where another label that came up out of the result of us being under this oppressor in this oppressive system is that was born out of chattel slavery is the mulattoes. The
Yeah.
mulattoes were those white Caucasian men who would force the black female slave to have sex with them. They would rape them and they would impregnate them. And so comes out the light skinned babies. So when those light skinned babies grow up and they think that they are better than the dark skinned blacks, And so what you have is another form of division in our community, you know.
Right.
So uh, that's one of the other tragedies about chattel slavery is that Caucasian men, they uh, rape black women.
Mhm.
The Caucasian blacks, the Caucasian white slave master would
Mhm.
rape the black women and molest the little black girls.
Yeah.
That's one of the tragedies. But out of that came forth a lot of light skins, which further caused more division because you got the light skinned Negroes working in the house,
Mhm.
dark skinned Negroes still working in the field.
You can read some more chapters if you want to, and we can discuss it.
But I just read from one more chapter.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna read from the very controversial chapter, Sex
Mm.
and Gender.
Oh yes, I was just gonna ask you about yes.
Sex and Gender.
Okay.
Uh, Sex and Gender, brothers and sisters that are viewing, um, chapter 5. That's the chapter of this book, Sex and Gender,
Mm.
and this relates to what went on with our people in chattel slavery. I wrote on page 25 in Sex and Gender, sex should not be used as a means to dehumanize people in any way. So in chattel slavery, the white Caucasian slave master not only raped the black woman and molested the
Mhm.
little black girls, but there was a homosexual practice
Mm. Yeah.
called buck breaking
Yes.
that he practiced on black men to dehumanize the black man in front of his woman and his daughter. So that's another. So sex was used as a tool to oppress and dehumanize our people.
Right.
And now in modern day, they have us, you know, as a people, they have us as a people uh, dehumanizing one another as sexual objects.
Right.
So when brothers refer to a sister as something other than uh, royalty,
Mhm.
they are dehumanizing her. When sisters refer to a brother as something other than royalty, then they are dehumanizing the brothers.
Right.
So we have learned these behaviors from our oppressor.
Exactly.
So sex is even used today as a tool to dehumanize black men from being men.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so goes the continuation of the miseducation of our people. So this book is used as a contribution to what even our late brother had already wrote, Carter G. Woodson,
Mhm.
uh, help uh, align our people mentally back to our origin as a people, you know.
Yes. Yes. So, I do trivia questions. So here is your trivia question.
All right.
What was the city's name Israel first conquered after crossing the Jordan River?
Jericho.
Ah, that was too easy. Okay, yeah. I think I gave you
Oh,
too easy of a question.
the walls came tumbling down.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I learned that in Sunday school.
Oh, well, I should have gave you a more harder question,
Yeah.
but yeah.